Hey y'all, guess what? We are here at Dollywood. Now this video is not about Dollywood. It is about Dollywood Splash Country and the new resort they're building, HeartSong. We get to actually go behind the scenes on a construction tour. We're the first ones to take you back there. Well, I say the first ones. Adventures at Rock, they got to go back there too.
We're all first.
The group that we're with are the first ones to go back there. Should I say that? That's a lot better. Yes. How's that? So, before I go any farther, check out Adventures at Rock. They got some amazing stuff like this and some other great stuff too. Link to their channels down below, so be sure to check that out. Plus, we're going to head on over to Splash Country, where I hear they're doing a little construction over there. Not a big renovation, but there is something going on. We get to go over there and check that out and bring that to you also.
Time to get wet.
Yep. Oh, no. Well, maybe not. It's still February. Not quite.
Water park. I don't get in the water.
Water park, no bathing suits. Who knew? But now this is one video. We're going to have another video of what's going on in construction at Dollywood. So if you're interested in that, please go over and check that video out also. They're going to have some videos also of Dollywood, Splash Country, the new resort, and who knows what else they're going to have. So get all that done. Check all them out. Check us out. Get to subscribe. Ring that bell notification, and let's go.
Let's go over to his TikTok too. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, we got a TikTok. Duh.
Yeah.
Linked all that's in my link tree down below. Check it all out.
We're actually standing right here.
Out on right here. That's right there. And inside of that is the main restaurant.
All right, so congratulations, you're the first people to visit HeartSong Lodge and Resorts. So the entrance we came in is actually going to be a dedicated trolley entrance, so you'll be able to go there and ride the trolley over to the parks. You never have to move your car. So same thing at Dreammore. That's one of the most popular perks that we have there is the door-to-door transportation. You'll be able to pick that up through that entrance there. Where we are now, this will be the entrance lobby, so that kind of helps you get an idea of where you're at. You can see the renderings here. The portico share will be kind of in this area here, and this will be a fireplace that will be in the lobby that's, as you come in. So back in June of last year, Eugene and Dolly made the announcement that we have a 10-year, $500 million expansion plan that will take place over the next 10 years. This is the first project as part of that. Construction has been ongoing since that time, and we're still on pace to open in fall of 2023 here at the resort. So with all of the success Dreammore's had, it's recently been named the USA Today 10 Best Top Amusement Park Hotel in the country, which is something we're very proud of, and it was the #2 best family resort in the entire country. So two things that really showcase the quality of the experience there. So I want to ask Eugene, as we move here to HeartSong Lodge and Resort, what will we do here to make sure the lodging quality remains the same as it is at Dreammore?
Sure. Well, thank you, Wes. And it's really exciting to get a chance to show you HeartSong and Lodge campus for the first time. It's been under construction for almost 8 months, and it involves 28 acres of property for the HeartSong resort. Really big differences between where we were at Dreammore and where we are today. Think of it like Dolly's big family. It's not one brother or sister is better than the other. This is adding up for really different kinds of deluxe experiences for what we aim to be as a preeminent destination resort. Dreammore has been really popular. We've learned a lot of good experiences from where we were at Dreammore to where we are today. A couple of big differences for the HeartSong experience. You come to the Smoky Mountains to enjoy the beautiful outdoors, and Dreammore doesn't have any outdoor patios, but HeartSong will. Almost half of the suites on property will actually have balconies for you to be able to enjoy and add some outdoor experiences to. We're standing in the middle of a 4-story atrium that will have an enormous fireplace as a feature to the interior of the resort, and it'll be unlike anything that you've ever seen before. People often ask us what's the difference between Dreammore and HeartSong, and is one better than the other? When you go to Dreammore, it's like visiting Dolly's home, and it helps you really learn about the hospitality that she would show you if you were visiting her house. It's a little bit of glitz and glamour associated with it. HeartSong gives us a chance to tell you Dolly's story about where she goes to get refreshed. It's about her love of the Smoky Mountains. You know, she spent an entire career writing songs, more than 3,000 of them, related to the Smoky Mountains. So this is our chance to show you what it's like when she goes to get refreshed in the Smoky Mountains.
Perfect. So we've got nearly 300 rooms at Dreammore. You're going to have a little more than 300 rooms here. What do we do to fill all of those rooms?
This is really different, you know, in terms of our approach. We have 26,000 square feet of convention space that actually, if you were to walk down the main lobby and head out that way, that's where the convention side of the resort is going to be. It's going to provide us a really unique opportunity to cater to some really large groups of people that we haven't been able to do before, as a Pigeon Forge town. So I'm very excited about what that'll be. Theater style, we can serve almost 900 people in one of our rooms. So think about the scope of that and what they're going to be able to offer here. It's really nice. And we planned long term. You heard Dolly and I announced a $500 million investment. We actually have master plans for 5 different resorts on our property. Long-term vision to when someone thinks about a vacation, we want them to start thinking about, coming to Pigeon Forge and coming to Dollywood Parks and Resorts. And it's a great chance for us to connect the stories of Dolly's life inside of all of our resorts.
So to piggyback off that, and I'll ask Pete this, with the addition of these resort properties, what has that done for the Destination Dollywood experience? How has it changed?
Well, when we made the announcement for Dreammore back in 2013, we really were an aspirational regional theme park. I mean, we were a park that drew primarily from, inside of 300 miles, really was focused on, the cities from which you've come today. And once Dreammore opened and then we've started to roll out the announcements for the other resorts and the other work that we're doing, it's allowed us to really expand the footprint of where our guests are coming from. To give you a specific example, prior to, say, 2012, about 70% of our business came from inside of that area. It is now flipped, so now about 70% of our business comes from outside of our area, coming into this area. We still have a very strong customer base within the Great Smoky Mountains region in Knoxville, Tri-Cities, Chattanooga, Nashville and Western North Carolina, but we're seeing guests in our top 5 markets from Chicago and New Orleans and Washington D.C. area and the New York metro and Philly and into Florida that are coming up to visit. And it's because we have experiences like this where they know that they have a world-class resort in which to stay, and they know that our guest experience with a lot of the awards that you hear Wes talking about, this is a place that they want to go, and it really is a destination theme park experience, much like some of our bigger brother and sister competitors that are in Orlando or in Southern California, and that's what we aspire to be. So when Eugene talks about a master plan of 5 resorts and a campground on this particular campus, that really gets us started on that destination experience, so that we can have guests not only from the United States but also international guests as we continue to expand our marketing focus in other areas.
So as Eugene mentioned a minute ago, and I'll ask you again this, Pete, the convention space, we will serve both of these properties and additional properties as we go along. How do you see that presenting opportunities as we move forward from what we've had?
So Dreammore, as Eugene said, Dreammore has a very small group space. It was intentional when we built Dreammore that it would be a meetings facility, a place for small groups to be able to come, because that experience really is more about you coming and visiting Dolly's home, a place that you would be a guest as if you were in her home in Nashville. Here, this is really about experiencing the Great Smoky Mountains. The groups facility that's going to be here, the convention space here, is in between the size that we have for the great convention centers that we have that are in the 3 cities and in Knoxville. So it's smaller than that, but it fills a niche in this market that's going to provide us an opportunity for great corporate events, large weddings, other in-between events that are maybe not big enough for something like the LeConte Center, but too big for Dreammore or other resorts or hotels that are in the area. And Eugene explained that in a theater seating situation we can seat up to 900 people. What a great opportunity for us to extend the entertainment that we have at Dollywood Parks and Resorts to this facility. Maybe even a larger kind of music series like we have at Dreammore now, and be able to use both resorts. It's kind of a blank page and an opportunity for us to be able to really invent what that experience is going to be moving forward. It's really an exciting opportunity and an exciting time for us.
So as I mentioned, we have a lot to move through on the schedule today, but we do have time for a couple of questions if anybody has something they'd like to ask beyond what we've already talked about. Greg?
Your 10-year plan that includes all these resorts, does it also include additional workforce housing?
We started, we started a program last year, a partnership with the Holtz family. They're a dairy farming family from Wisconsin Dells, and we have our first phase of a 3-phase housing project that will open in May of 2022 to help solve some of the labor pipeline issues that have been present for decades here in Pigeon Forge. And many of you probably heard the announcement about our Grow You program, and that is where Dollywood Parks and Resorts is going to be paying 100% of the tuition towards over 100 degrees in institutions for anyone who's working at Dollywood Parks and Resorts. I believe the dorm will be the perfect opportunity to provide a normal college experience for someone who's attending college and working at Dollywood Parks and Resorts. Phase 2 of our housing project is already underway in design. We'll be adding up to another 500 beds that we'll start construction on very soon and open in the summer of 2023, because in the fall of 2023 we're going to have the need for another 400 hosts to be helping us deliver the day when HeartSong and Lodge opens in the fall of 23. And probably the one that I'm most excited about is our third phase, and that creates a leadership housing plan, because in order for us to execute on our 10-year plan, we have to add over 400 leadership positions to be able to handle everything that we're doing on our site from a project perspective. So this will help solve reasonable housing, which we all know is a challenge for our region. And we're trying to lead the way not only for Dollywood Parks and Resorts, but for the community. We've committed 100 beds for our first dormitory to be used for town businesses. Those are the people who don't have the same resources that Pete and I are lucky to be able to have at our fingertips. And so we're going to help the community advance, through the ship's hospitality program and provide them some beds in our phase 1 project.
So just to piggyback on that a little bit, Greg I'm sure knows, but for those folks that are not here or not reporting on us every day, to give you an idea, you hear a lot of new business coming to the area, and you hear the large expansions that we've been talking about kind of pretty consistently over the last 10 years and what we're investing in this area. I didn't check this morning, but before Christmas, on Indeed, there were about 12,000 jobs available in this market. There were about 400 people on unemployment. So those numbers don't really work. So doing projects like we're talking about with the employee housing and working through with a college internship program and a leadership development program, and being able to do that is going to allow us to provide the guest experience on our properties that our guests have come to expect, and all of those new guests that we've been bringing to the area, that 65 to 70% of the folks that are coming in from outside, many of them first-time visitors, we want them to have an experience that they want to repeat. We're about making memories worth repeating. We want to make sure that they're not only a one-time customer, they're a lifetime customer, but if we can't provide the level of service we need to, they're not going to want to come back. And that's why we're controlling our own destiny by doing the projects that we're doing. And I can tell you, it's not an inexpensive venture to be able to do that, because much of that is not guest facing. And it really is trying to provide a campus environment that is productive, so that they have a great experience. That great experience can translate to a great guest experience, because the guest experience cannot raise above the level of what the host experience is. So the better the host experience is, the better the guest experience is. And we're committed to make sure that that happens moving forward, and to fulfill Dolly's vision of providing the best area for hospitality anywhere in the world, right here in the Smokies.
There'll be plenty of time for questions during the day. Any other? Yes.
You said something about, are you guys putting a campground in? Did I hear that correctly?
That's a part of our 10-year plan, for this area. Obviously, when you come to the Smokies, that's a very popular and growing part of visitation and tourism. So we think there's a perfect opportunity for us to be able to leverage that type of experience here.
And now our tour is going to take us over here to Splash Country, where there's some construction going on over here too. So let's head on in here and see what's going on.
Welcome to Dollywood Splash Country. The park will celebrate its 22nd season this year. And one of the main projects that's going on over here, as you can see behind us, if you're familiar with the park and you've been here, Jordan's backing up. Little Creek Falls was in this area behind us. There was a large structure, which obviously is no longer here. So you've heard us already throughout the morning. We're talking about guest experience and listening what the guests are telling us. And they were telling us that if you had children who were a little bit smaller, mine about that same size, so I understand, there were not a lot of places in Splash Country for them to go and be able to splash around. And we also heard from our ADA advisory panel, and they were saying, you know, we would like to have more places where it's wheelchair accessible and more people can come and take part in the fun. So that led to the project that you have behind us. I'll let Eugene speak to that in a second, or Jordan, if Jordan wants to. But we'll be able to put a children's play area in here, a lot of water jets and a lot of splashing and fun, but what it's going to be able to do is allow kids and everyone, all ages, all abilities, to be able to come in here and splash and play and have fun, and that's what we're all about. So with us, we have Jordan Leach, who is the Director of Operations here at Dollywood Splash Country, and Lauren Lowry, who is the Operations Manager here at Splash Country. So I'll ask them a few things and then open it up for you all. So I was talking about listening to the guests. So Eugene, what were you hearing about Splash Country that made you say, okay, Little Creek is the next project and this is what makes sense for us to do?
You know, Pete's always talking about voice of the visitor and listening to what the guest wants. And when you look at the attractions capacity for the park, one of the things that we were really lacking was things for young families to do on park. So as we look to advance our 10-year plan, all the evolution that we're intending to do here on Splash Country will be family-oriented rides and attractions and experiences that will help the day go a little bit smoother. Being able to spread out a little bit and have a little bit more lay down is always really important when you visit Splash Country. And you think about the difference maker for us, if you, even in the environment that we're in today and in the off season, the amount of trees and cover that you get here, it's really unique compared to any other water park attraction that I've seen throughout my 37-year, career here. But first and foremost, I'll say one thing, and I'll embarrass Lauren and Jordan a little bit here. The number one thing I think about in terms of water park is water park safety. And there's no two better people from a dynamic duo perspective in delivering the highest ratings from a water park safety perspective in the industry. I'm really proud of both of you and what they do to deliver a safe experience, on park. And I'm gonna let them talk a little bit about the new attraction and our water safety program.
So Little Creek Falls, as you remember, like Wes said, had a structure and some slides over in the back, and we really wanted to re-envision that so that it's more inclusive for those families with smaller children or someone who has different accessibility needs. And what we came up with was a zero depth entry splash pad. It's going to have about 100 play elements. So some of them are going to be taller, some of them are child height, and some of them are really just on the ground level. It'll have additional seating that we'll be able to implement just around the side of it. And the most exciting part of it is that we were able to incorporate some of these butterfly shade structures that you see elements of now into the splash pads to provide some shade during those key times of the day. I think of that noon to 3 mark when the sun's at the highest and it's the hottest. So we really think that our families with small children are going to enjoy that.
So I'm going to go back to you, Jordan, with this. So obviously this is a large construction project, but as we came in, we see a lot of landscaping going on. You see a lot of other things going on. Tell us a little bit about what you have going on to get ready for your season when it opens in May.
We've done a lot of work over the last 4 to 5 months. We have resurfaced a lot of our water slides. About 60% of them received some fresh gel coat, so that's just going to continue to maintain the product. But then from a guest-facing standpoint, you see the landscaping team behind us, and they've been busy all winter. So we used to kind of go into a hibernation mode right after fall, and over the last couple of years, the landscaping team has stayed at the park all winter. They trim trees, they blow leaves, and then they started putting mulch down just a couple weeks ago. So some of those things that you might, as a homeowner, do later in the spring, we're working on early so that we can get ahead of it. The landscaping phase 2 that we're in right now is really just about getting back to the roots. Let's make sure that we're focusing on some of our native plant species that are here in the Smokies and using those as the focal point.
Pun intended on the
Yes, pun intended.
So you talk about maintenance, you talk about the landscaping. So the park, you know, as we said, is entering its 22nd season. But when guests come in and experience it, it looks fresh every time they come in. So talk a little bit about, you know, all three of you, whoever wants to answer this one, about ongoing maintenance and why that's so important to making sure the property looks the way it does.
Yeah, ongoing maintenance is really just about maintaining the assets that we have, right? So it's everything from, you know, maintaining the wood on the exterior part. You know, we saw that last year when we redid the bridges and the railings that we come across a little while ago, and I was horribly.
It's okay.
And so, you know, it's really just about maintaining a fresh atmosphere for our guests. You know, we want them to come in every season and see something new. Hey, they've changed this, or hey, that's a different color, or whatever. It's really just about staying up and making sure that we're providing a great guest experience.
And Lauren's here. You heard Eugene mention about it a minute ago. We always are trying to strive to be as safe as we can be, and we hold true to trying to our best to be the best place that families can come. We want to be that safe place, and part of that is our lifeguards, and we're holding true to that. So Lauren and Jordan both have had a lot of experience throughout the years in terms of being involved with the lifeguard program and making sure that we're up to code. So there's a group called Ellis & Associates that come in, they audit all of our lifeguards, and in that process they award on different levels. And our lifeguards are routinely ranked among the highest that Ellis & Associates that they audit across the country, which is something we're very proud of, and we like to, you know, think that we're the most trusted water park here in the Smokies, and a lot of that is because of the efforts that these two put into it. So Lauren, talk a little bit about our lifeguard program, how we train them, and why we are able to score the way we do on the audits.
Yeah, so we are staffed with over 270 lifeguards here at Dollywood Splash Country and Dollywood Dreamwear Resort and Spa. So we have lifeguards 365 days a year over at the resort, which is not typical of a resort in this area. So we're really, really proud to provide that next level safety for our guests year round. During our season at Dollywood Splash Country, we staff 85 highly trained lifeguards a day. They undergo 5 full days of training before they can even start the season. And we're very selective through that process. They also have to maintain in-service training throughout the summer with an hour a week required to function in their aquatic safety position. So we're really proud of our scores through Ellis & Associates. You know, I don't like being put on the spot with that, but I have to brag about the team. They're absolutely amazing. We just recently were awarded 2 days ago with the Platinum Award from Ellis & Associates for Dollywood's Dreamwear Resort and Spa. The Platinum Award is awarded to only 10% of Ellis & Associates facilities worldwide. We're really proud of that award, and we have to work really hard to get it. So that's actually a compilation of all of our audits that give us that overall award. So we're really, really proud to represent Dreamwear, not just Splash Country. So we just want to continue the high standards for aquatic safety for our company. Safety is always first. So.
We got time for a couple questions.
What goes into deciding to tear down something and build something new?
This will be a question later on as well, but Eugene?
It's probably one of the most fun things I do when you think about how you dream up new uses of space on property. And there's a fine line between what's historically really important to not let go, and then what do you have to take down in order to really expand on your long-term vision. I think the biggest change in the evolution that we have across Dollywood Parks and Resorts is the fact that we have a 10-year plan. Like, we know where we're going, and we know why we're doing what we're doing, and everyone's aligned on that. So all the hundreds of decisions that get made at every level of the organization happen in such a way to support the long-term program and how we maximize our results. And it's really proven out to be very successful in the short amount of time here. Last year was a record year for Dollywood Parks and Resorts. Even under a constrained environment, we still produced more than we ever have in our entire history. And we're all very proud of that.
Will this area still have any slides?
Go ahead.
No, this area won't have any slides. We really wanted to focus on that target age group of, toddlers through maybe like ages 5 and 6. Like I said, there'll be some taller elements to intrigue those kids that are older siblings, the 8-year-olds or so. But really after that, then, we wish that they go down and enjoy Bear Mountain Fire Tower and the Cascades so that we can reserve this for our smallest guests.
You'll start to see us advance, different elements of that fun family play, on property as a part of our advancement. And, in the near future, you'll hear us talk about the next big project here at Splash Country that we're going to be focused on very soon. Pete hates when I say it, but soon to come in 2024.
Any other questions? Oh, yes.
What kind of play elements will be in here? What's an example of one?
Yeah, so some of them are just little pop jets that are on the ground, and so that's something that the parents can really set on the ground and enjoy with their little ones. There'll be probably about a dozen that are child height, and so those are just little. It fits into the theme, so you're going to see like cattails and other things like that here in this area. Large leaves and things of that nature. And the tallest elements kind of look like trees. So it fits into the theme, but good question. So it's a nice little hodgepodge of different size elements so that we can cater to different age groups.
And accessibility is really key, right? We're trying to advance, that idea for our property.
So there you go. Dollywood hadn't announced construction over here, but now they have. But look out, people's already getting in the water. Wow, I tell you what, they have done a lot of work up there at that resort, haven't they?
It was a lot more than I thought.
Honestly, I was just expecting some foundations, maybe some concrete. I mean, they're putting up walls already. And that place is going to be beautiful. And guess what? They've even told us they're expecting, 5 resorts on property?
Yeah. That's going to be
so there's a lot of great stuff coming here to Dollywood Parks and Resorts, as they call it. There's a reason they call it resorts. 5 in the making. But right now we're focused on HeartSong because that's going to be a beautiful, beautiful place. You've seen the renderings, and I cannot wait. Hopefully we get another construction tour sometime soon. Can't never tell.
Yeah, hopefully.
Don't know. And also, guess what? They're building a nice little splash pad for the kids here. That is amazing. I love how they look out for everybody. They look out for the ADA. They look out for the younger kids. They look out for the older ones, old people like me. They look out for everybody. That's amazing. Thank you, Dollywood, for bringing us out and letting us enjoy and get to see the amazing things you have in store for us as the guests. Thank you so much. Thank y'all for tagging along with the Crazy Crew.
Yes, it was so fun.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with these two. These two right here always make a rainy day sunny. Look at this.
Literally.
Literally. They called for rain all day in case you didn't know. And that turned out with sunshine.
Yeah,
What a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Now, there also is a Dollywood video that we're doing of all the construction tour, and that's, because some hot topics, some controversial topics in there. But I think you need to watch it and check it out. There's a lot of great information on that video too. So head on over to our channel and look down below somewhere in the videos. I don't know where it's going to be, but check it out. There's a Dollywood video there. While you're down there, like always, check out my great friends here at Adventures at Rock. They got some amazing stuff along with stuff from here. So y'all go check them out. Y'all got TikTok too, though, right?
Yes, we do.
They got
some fun stuff on there.
Yeah. Hey, we got TikTok too.
Yeah,
check them out. We have a link tree down below. All my stuff's in there. All their stuff be down there below that link tree. Can't miss all that stuff. And thank you for hanging with the Crazy Crew. And thank you, Dollywood, for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Hanging with the Crazy Crew. And guess who I got with me?
Rock and Sandy.
Well, no, it's Rock.
I'm not Sandy. Let me double check. Yeah, I'm not Sandy.
So anyhow, Adventures at Rock is with us. As you can see, if you watch their videos, you're going to have a fun time. So before we go any farther, go on over there and check them out after this video. Don't do it right now.
No, not yet.
Yeah. But check it out. We are here at Splash Country. It is February. We're in short sleeves, no bathing suits. And check this out. Y'all look behind me. There's all kind of people here. All kind of people.
We're going this way.
We'll talk to you later.